evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Will you please stand while Mr. Busick leads us in the opening exercises?
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Please pray. Dear Lord, I just want to thank you for this day, Lord. I just want to thank you for all your many blessings in our lives, Lord. I ask you to be with us as we make decisions for our kids and our schools and everything, Lord. We just give you all the blessings, all the praise. God, I pray. Amen.
Thank you. All right. Okay. It's always nice to see a full house. So we're going to start off with any adjustments to tonight's agenda. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I'll second. Okay. All right, and let's begin with introduction of guests. And we'll start with Carrie.
Mary Gray, Stephanie Stevens, Ellie Daly, Carrie Carter,
Troy Williams, Jessica Hoosier, Mark Bates, Roger Hine,
Lacey Lockwood, Courtney Saxton,
Fred Castellanos,
Melissa Rice,
Dave Hagler,
Daniel Comio,
Shelton Coward,
Cameron Vega.
We usually wind around, guys. You're good.
Pages 4, Michael Rutledge, Kevin Reyes, Daniel Yalla,
All right, welcome everyone. We're glad to see everybody. All right, I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent who's going to recognize some special people. Other than Mr. Dunlap.
Well, it's always nice when you see blue in the house and you hear the metals clanking. So I do want to do something just a little bit different to start this off.
Uh-oh. Are you dancing?
Well, I'm not going to dance.
Oh.
I just think that we have to celebrate. We have a lot to celebrate in our district. And so tonight we have some state champs in the house. We also have a school that has been recognized as a national showcase. National means nation, United States of America. So that's pretty exciting. So I want to bring our national showcase school up here. That is at Taylor Middle School. They have received the Capturing Kids' Hearts National Showcase School of the Year. This is their 4th time in a row. So Ms. Lonnie, Mr. Castellanos, and then one of our awesome students, Courtney Saxton, is here. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys to talk a little bit about what you received.
All right, so this year we have been named a National Showcase School for Capturing Kids' Hearts. This is our 4th consecutive year as a showcase school. So our wonderful state champions over here were part of the very first years, and so we're definitely thankful to see, successful students that are TMS alumni and showcase one of our students today. This is an award that's given. You have to be a showcase school, so you have to be enrolled in the Capturing Kids' Hearts program, and that's something that we follow at Taylor Middle School pretty religiously. It's about building relationships and making sure that students have what they need to succeed, looking at them as middle schoolers and knowing that this is their transition years and we're really setting them up for success. And so our staff and our students really work on, academics is extremely important. At Taylor, we have started to add in our activities and our athletics, and it's everything combined to make what a Wildcat is. And then the Capturing Kids' Hearts really just is natural with what we do. Now it's a cultural thing that when you walk in, they want the building to be happy and excited
So I just appreciate how they've made me grown and how awesome of a school Taylor really is.
Thank you. You're a cutie.
She kind of, one thing is I'm very grateful to be part of Taylor. It's very special to me, and I think when I see, and like Ms. Lockwood said, you see some state champions over there, and we're a part of that. We see Courtney; she's an 8th grader there. It's just a good feeling to be a part of. One of the things that I've worked at Taylor for about 12 years now, and it's, like I said, it's a very special place. Lacey said it's natural. For it to be like how it is now, it wasn't always natural. It is natural now. It feels natural because we know what we're doing. We know that we need to take care of kids. We know that we need to build relationships. And I think that with our leadership, people follow and people see that and people acknowledge that and they understand now what happens when you take care of kids and make sure that you build relationships with kids. So in my heart, it's a very special place, and I think we've done a good job. Lockwood's done a good job, the students, the teachers, the staff, to make sure that we have a place conducive of not just learning, but a place where kids feel like they matter. And I think they do, and it shows.
That's great. Thank you, guys.
It takes a lot of guts, if I may say, to come up and speak before adults and school board members and high school students. So thank you, Courtney, for being here. You're going to get a Wildcat pen, and then you can take this back to your school, a certificate for outstanding job earning the capture cards on behalf of your student audience. So thank you. Appreciate you so much. Okay, I get do-overs on this song because I turned it off too early. All right, let's try this again. So thank you to Taylor Middle School and what they do there, and there is a different vibe there. So I encourage you to go try it out and check it out if you haven't been there. All right, as I play this next song, I need all the state champions to come up to the front.
With their best move, yeah. You have to go louder, Miss Kitty.
I know, I don't know why it's not loud. Did you turn it off? Oh. Oh, man, okay, here we go. Yeah. I don't know what happened. It was working earlier. Right, it's okay. We like the sound of metal anyway, right? Metal. Yes. Oh. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Coaches, this is not your whole team, is it? Okay, representative of our state champions. So during the COVID era, we had the opportunity to bring in powerlifting for a way to give our kids something to do. And of course, Leamington jumped on that right away because we said, we can do this. And so we made a statement up there the first year, and we've been making the statement ever since. You will see our girls representing the girls team. They are 5-time state champions. I'm going to give the coaches an opportunity to talk here in a minute, but it's in 3 lifts. It's the deadlift, the bench, and the squat. And so, you don't know what that is, you should go to the Erlacher Center and check that out. We are so super proud of our girls. Not only do they represent themselves, but they represent Leamington schools with such class and integrity and confidence and all those things. And I know that as they're not only cheering for themselves, they're cheering for other students in the state, other athletes in the state. And they show that enthusiasm while they're there. So thank you, ladies, for representing Wildcat Nation with such class and working hard and getting up there. And I know that it was neck and neck. I was at a conference along with Miss Ansel and Miss Maker, and we were tuning in and just not being good students of where we were because we were so wanting to pay pay attention to what was going on with Wildcats up there, and so you guys made our heart beat a little faster. So thank you for that rush of adrenaline, and we're super proud of you. And then we have the men over here on this side who have won the state 3 out of 4 years. And last year it was down to the wire, wasn't it? Just like by 1 point or something. So again, our gentlemen have represented Wildcat Nation with such class and integrity and strength, and we're super proud of you guys. And how many of you guys are underclassmen coming back, boys and girls? Okay, underclassmen, all right. How many of you guys are seniors leaving us? What a nice note to go out on, right? So, very proud of you guys. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Fort and Coach Bam to say a few words.
You'll start us off. Okay, so I'm going to speak on behalf of the guys team. Excuse my voice, I'm still getting it back from this weekend, but it sounds a lot better than it did yesterday. First of all, to add on to everything Ms. Q said, obviously we are very, very proud of the effort and the discipline and obviously the overall strength that each one of these guys showed. We've had, some great teams in the past, but this year there were some statistics to me that really stood out. And I think, as Ms. Q said, powerlifting in Mexico is a fairly new sport, and every year it grows, right? And more teams decide to join and create powerlifting teams. So it just gets more and more competitive every year. And so for us, I say us, for these guys to go up there and do what they did this weekend, it made it even more special. Of the 11 guys that we took, 8 of them placed in the top 5 and were able to get us points, and we were extremely excited about that. No, I apologize. 10 of the 11 placed in the top 5, 8 of the 11 placed in the top 3. So even more to add on to that. Alex Rivera was our sole first place finisher. Daniel Ayala finished 2nd. Kevin Reyes finished 3rd. Wyatt finished 4th. Ruben finished 2nd. Miguel finished 6th, 1 spot out of the top 5, where we would have had all 11 guys in the top 5. Jesus finished 2nd, and then Ulysses was our manager and someone who's been a JV powerlifter for us this year and kind of earned the title to go up with the state team and help us out there, and he did a great job. Alex finished with, he competed in the 308-pound weight class. He broke the state record in 4A in that weight class in the squat. Hitting 535. He hit the state record deadlift in that weight class at 585, and the overall total record at 1,420 pounds. And that's Ruben Anguiano finished 2nd in his weight class in the super heavyweights, but he also broke a state record in the super heavyweights on his first attempt at squat. He squatted 515 pounds, breaking the previous record of 505. He continued to move up and ended up getting 540 pounds on his squat, breaking the state record by 35 pounds. So a pretty awesome thing. The last true statistic from the meet that I'll say is in powerlifting, they use an equation. I know my grandma's Miss Ansel, but I'm not a math wizard like her. But essentially, they take the lifter's body weight and multiply it by some sort of a coefficient to ultimately find out who is the strongest pound for pound lifters in certain weight classes or throughout certain weight classes. And from the 198-pound weight class all the way up to the super heavyweights, the top 3 Schwartz is the measurement, the top 3 Schwartz deadlifts were all guys from Lovington. And so that was really awesome. Overall, I mean, obviously that's a lot of really cool stuff. The one thing that I will say that I think can at times go unnoticed is the team aspect of powerlifting kind of gets overlooked in a sport where you have to compete in a sense by yourself. These guys stuck around for each other and were the loudest, most energetic team. They were the most most excited. They love each other the hardest. And we had compliments from, we were counting up on the way back. We had compliments from over 10 teams telling us, man, y'all do it the right way. Y'all are the standard. We want to do what you guys are doing. We want to have the numbers that y'all have. And one thing that I was the most proud of was that the guys this year competed on Friday instead of Saturday. And that's flipped from the past. And one thing we told everyone was when the guys are done competing on Friday, it would be real easy to get checked out, go back home, let the girls do their thing on Saturday. Of the 11 guys that we took, all 11 guys chose to stay Saturday and support the girls. And we had 0 disciplinary issues. We had 0 issues at the hotel. Let them get in the pool for a little while. Thank God we had no injuries there. But overall, they did a great job. They handled the travel really well. We never had issues in any fashion. Every single one of the guys that we took to state made weight and competed their absolute tails off. And I'm just thankful that this is the team that I get to take up there and represent Lovington High School because they did it the right way. And obviously we're seeing, part of the reason why the steps that we're taking to help our kids develop, starting at an earlier age, and it pays off. And we've got great kids, and we've got absolutely strong kids. The one thing that I'll end on, if you can think about how much weight looks like, and how much you can think of something that weighs 500 pounds, or maybe even 1,000 pounds, or you think of like a bull, what a bull at the rodeo weighing a ton, about 2,000 pounds. These guys together at the state meet alone as a team lifted 12,210 pounds. It's crazy when you think about it in that aspect, but they did it, and they ended up scoring 36 points, beating second place by 16, beating third place by 18. To be honest, while we were there, after the squat, we got the sheet that showed where everyone was at as far as point totals go, and it wasn't very close. And we kind of told these guys, like, it's time to put the pedal down now. And they never looked back, and it never really got close. And I'm just very thankful for each of them. They competed their tails off, not only at state, but obviously every day. Powerlifting to me is such a unique sport because, you get to compete 4 times before you go to state, and that's it. And some of these guys didn't even compete 4 times because they've got other obligations, basketball, cheer, track, all of these other things that go on. And the work that they put in from really December, that Christmas break, we had some guys come in and start the season off for us. And to get to where we're at now is it's a testament to their work, the effort that they put in every day, and I'm just super thankful for everyone.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, couple things I want to address before we talk about Saturday. I want to thank everybody in this room. I was thinking about that. I actually got a little teary-eyed on the way out with the police escort. When Miss Stephanie called me and said they were going to do the police escort in, I was like, you know we're getting in at like 1:30, right? She's like,
Doesn't matter.
This is what we're doing. But everybody in this room has played a part. You mentioned at Taylor Middle School. I mean, we all play a part in these kids' lives. We should think about powerlifting next year. But I want to thank everybody here. I mean, we couldn't have done this without you guys. Some kind of behind-the-scenes things. We have a booster club for the first time this year with the powerlifting program. We actually have 74 athletes in powerlifting. That's 38 guys and 36 girls. And to be totally honest, I would like to get up into the 50s on both sides. I mean, it's growing at a very high rate. And so, part of that is because of the resources that we're given, the support that we're given, the pictures. You guys all hooting and hollering and cheering us on. Principal sending me text messages during the meet, pictures of myself. But I appreciate all the support when we came back. Everybody, talking about us, and one of the things too. Coach Ford has done this for a couple of years, but I've leaned heavily on him and the amount of work that he does. I mean, we've spent a lot of time kind of planning this stuff out and getting to this point, and we couldn't have done it without you guys. Getting to Saturday. So those of you who don't know, the most you can take for powerlifting, you can take 12 kids, 2 per weight class, and that's the max you can take. They have to be qualified. We, on the girls' side, we took 9. There were 2 teams that took more than us. One Portales had 12 and Grants had 10. And I really leaned on the coaches that were up there. Coach Ford was up there, Ms. Brennan was up there, and then Josh Bailey was up there to, we have just got to, throw up confidence on these girls because there is a plan, there's a way we can do this, but we have to, under no circumstance can we show that we can. And all they did was do even better than I had expected. For example, Miss Bella, she was actually 10th in her weight class coming in, and she had gotten a chance to come in, and she wound up finishing 4th, which is absolutely unbelievable. Everything she did with a smile on her face. She asked no questions, and she absolutely crushed it. Ms. Daylin Galindo, this one was special. She wasn't able to compete physically. She hadn't been cleared yet this year. I think it was the first year she was cleared. And she wound up winning her weight class. She was in first all year, and she went out there and dominated. Every one of her last lifts was a victory lap for her. And it was exciting, extremely emotional when she had come out of and it kind of the job was finished at that point in time. Super proud of her. Xalia, this will be, what do you have, 6 medals? 6 medals. She, if you know anything about Xalia, she's steady Eddie. She's somebody you can count on. She's going to do anything you ask her to do. She's going to occasionally smile, but she's just locked in most of the time. That's something that I really appreciate about her. She was one of the seniors that we leaned on heavily. Miss Lilith Sotelo, we went up there with, she came in 7th, and I believe she finished, I don't know if it was 6 or 7, but she was the 6, 7. She was the first one to start us off. She was the first Lovington lifter that got to lift, and I said, you don't understand how important that is. You are taking all the nerves of every single kid that we have, and it is all on you to do that. And she did everything. Her last lift, she said, I don't care what it is, let me go in there and do it. And then we have Miss Kaylee Salcido. So every time that we lift, they add up all of those totals that we have. Her first varsity lift, she did a total of 520 pounds, which is still pretty dang impressive. She ended Saturday at 780 pounds. She was the strongest Lovington powerlifter we had. She took every single one of her maxes and took it even higher. She improved everything by over 100 pounds. And a quick little story about her. She came to my classroom one time panicking, looking at these standings. There's a girl in her weight class that's part of the 1,000-pound club. And she's like, I don't know what we're going to do. I can't get there. I said, hey, we don't need to worry about that. We're going to go for second, and we'll see what happens from there. And sure enough, she went out there. She took 2nd place. She needed to deadlift 380 pounds, which is a lot of weight, at the end to win it, and she did it. And man, to see how excited and even the girls that aren't here, to see how excited they were coming out. They did everything we asked, and it was happy tears, obviously, with the coaches and stuff. But I am so proud and so grateful that I got to be a part of their lives, and they did such a great job. They call themselves the Divas, so I guess they're all the Divas and stuff. But yeah, no, you guys, like I said, you guys all played a part in this, and these girls did an incredible job. I know I'm technically their coach, but it was all them. All we did was run numbers the whole time and put them in position, but they're the ones that did it. And it was, we wound up winning by 1 point. That was the math that Coach Bailey had, and none of us trusted the math until they had told us, including him, until they had said, hey, the difference was within 1 point. And then that's what we knew. Man, I'm very blessed to be here in Lovington with everybody here and with these student athletes. And these guys, some of the other teams did stay, but Portales was high up in the top. They didn't do anything to the last deadlift. Every time I needed these guys to make noise and get loud for our girls, they did it, even though they were tired. They wanted to go home. They were hungry, whatever it might be. And part of that goes to the program and what Coach Ford and I are trying to build here, or reload here, not rebuild. So I just want to thank you guys. But yeah, these girls are absolutely incredible. Guys are absolutely incredible. They set the tone, and man, I'm very excited for what's to come down the line too. But yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you.
Not even in the state of New Mexico, in a restaurant, paying attention to what's happening and cheering when we heard that you guys took first place, both teams. So just know that you're being followed constantly, and that should add a little pressure to the way you represent Lovington. And I'm very proud of you. As the superintendent of Lovington Schools, I'm very proud of our student body, and so thank you. You guys will all be receiving a Wildcat pen also you guys have certificates here that you can just put where you want them. And I do want to say something about our coaches. You know, in any athletic, academic competition, you have adults that are stepping up, not just from teaching in the classroom, but from going beyond the classroom to invest in our students, that give time, that if you want to break it down to 25 cents an hour, we do pay our people very well, but the time that they put in, you can't, we're just very blessed, and our kids are very blessed to have a passion from our adults in our system. So thank you to our coaches, and thank you to you guys for what you guys do to us well. So thank you, and you're not done. We still have like 6 weeks of school. Finish it strong. Finish strong.
We know what I'm talking about. We know what I'm talking about.
Okay, and we're going to go ahead and move forward with the meeting. You guys are welcome to stay. You're also welcome to leave. I think that we can agree that the future is very bright for Wildcats. So, thank you. Okay, we're going to move right on into the director's reports, and I will open it up to the board for questions. Any questions? Ms. Q, do you want Jesse to talk any about the ag renovation, or do you just want the report in here to be?
It's whatever you guys
Okay.
are.
There may not be any.
Are those pictures the old ag building that you gutted and are reworking, or is that the maintenance building already being refurbished?
No, ma'am, that's the renovation of the current BOAG.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am, that we've started over spring break and it'll continue up until August.
Well, it's only been 700 years.
Yes, ma'am. There's a lot of old stuff in there.
Yes. Okay. Pictures are good.
And thank you very much for, in your report, addressing the parking lot. I know there's a lot of anxious people ready to see that come to fruition, and it's out of your control. You're doing the best you can with that, but, you know, the paperwork of the state kind of gets in the way, but thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It'll be an
Ms.
exciting
Snicker,
time.
we will be doing a podcast. I'll do a podcast next Friday with Jesse and Commissioner Kimbrough to
Oh,
update the
good.
people on what's going on.
Great. That's next Friday? Okay. Okay. All right, any other questions for director reports? Okay.
I don't know if this is appropriate time to ask, and tell me if it's not, but with the testing, so the AP testing, how is that scheduled? Do you know?
Ms. Bailey?
It's scheduled through College Board.
Okay.
College Board sets that schedule. We have nothing.
So there's nothing to do.
It's nationally set. The test actually has to start within 1 hour of a specific time so that everyone in the nation is taking the test at the exact same time.
Interesting. Because it works so well for everybody.
Yes,
But-
it's wonderful for all of us, especially during state track and state.
Yeah, that's the reason I ask. I mean, it's during,
We don't.
so-
We don't get to set that schedule at all.
right. Is there, because I know we discussed this previously, right, with the students needing to take that test and realizing that if you don't take it, you have to pay for it, right? Is there,
It's a school-sponsored event.
okay, unless there's a school-sponsored event, then it's,
That is
okay.
correct.
That's, I didn't realize that was in there, so.
And we have spoken about those dates that I'm sure before I was even a principal at Leamington High School. And there were times that the senior walk was happening, but we can't do anything, but we have to stay strict with that time. Yeah.
It's a security thing for College Board, because if I take it one day and then
Sure.
she takes it the next, I can give her information about the test.
Sure.
So
I
because
can
it's
see that.
standardized, it's taken at the exact same time.
I can't help but wonder if that's almost a discussion at the NMAA level, because it is a statewide thing, and maybe just to bring that attention of looking at maybe a timing thing. I don't know. I don't know when dates are set by NMAA versus when College Board sets the dates. So it could be that neither one knows in time, but it might be a great question for us to even just check on.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's such a large window, it takes 2 weeks, so it takes 2 full weeks to test.
Because each AP subject takes a
That's
day
true.
or half a day.
That's true. So, yeah, there probably would be no way to do that. Yeah.
Even if they could move some of the AP testing up into April more instead of.
But it wouldn't help because it's set by the state.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
College Board.
Yeah.
College Board would
Yeah.
be
I just
set.
don't know that they would look at it because there's so many different calendars in the nation. They
Across
just
the nation.
They don't care.
Expect us to.
Yeah.
And if the student is at state track meet, then that is not a punitive for them. Okay. Okay, great. Great question.
Thank
Other questions? Okay, I know Mr. Murad's not here tonight, but I always appreciate getting that participation survey that he has to do. That's always pretty informative, so
It was very informative.
very, very interesting. Okay, superintendent update.
I stand for any questions?
Okay. Any questions for the superintendent on enrollment or?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, let's move on into the routine matters. We'll take items 1 through 4 as part of the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve as presented?
So move.
Okay. It is open. Okay. All right, next item, budget adjustments.
Carrie?
And we'll talk a little bit about this.
You told us last month to get ready.
Yes, I did. Fair warning. So our audit has been approved, and what they do is we put in the cash from the prior year, you know, obviously revenue minus expenditures and all that. And so what you're seeing are the cash balance bars for those. And then a couple of others, for example, the 900,000 for the playground, that in addition. But the majority of those were a result of the audit outcome.
Any questions from the board?
So are those carryovers or are they?
They're carryovers, yes, ma'am. Those are carryovers. You'll notice there's no federal or state local because those are handled through a carryover letter. These are the example operational transportation, food services, activity athletics. These are the ones within our control that the cash does roll over.
Okay, so to true that up for your audit.
Correct. Exactly. Yes, ma'am. We budget and then at the end of the year, they true it up. And so that's, yes, ma'am.
I had noticed on the journal reports, the cash balance stuff that we were like negative in bus and.
Food service and athletics, yeah.
So this takes care of all that.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions for Carrie? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the budget adjustments as presented?
So moved.
Second.
It is open. All right, thank you. Next item, bids. Those are all, Mr. Hine, is that right? Any questions for Mr. Hine on these bids?
I must say, AD
Yes.
staffing solutions on several of the papers, is that because they're far away or?
No, because there's a lot of things being fiscally responsible. There's always that average in between, and theirs was, if you could compare it to everybody else's, was way above. So that was the reasons behind it. Because there were some other parts where they were within the same confines of everybody else, and so that's why they were accepted in some other ones.
Right, for the teacher and stuff.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, do I hear a motion to approve the bids as presented? Thank you, Mr. Hine.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, bail.
Okay, thank you. Next item, donations, quite a few, a lot of them for after grads.
Yes,
there
so
anything-
that's our next big event, one of the next big events, and the high school principal about fell out of his chair when I just said the only one.
He knew better.
It's actually the ending of all the things. You know, I just want to publicly just thank all of our people in Lovington that just give so generously to events for our students and to support different activities. So you will see here on the list the donations to after grads and then to the ACES program and to Lovington schools. So it's Lovington. I tell everybody there's the word love in Lovington for a reason. So
Very, very nice. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the donations as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All right, moving into old business. Did yours pop up? Go to your agenda. Yeah, up there, top left. There it is. Old business, second reading to review and revise policy J, sections 4711 to 7261, and I'll open it up to the board for any questions or comments. If I could just backtrack a little bit, Mr. Williams, I know that there had been some questions about 4550. Do you want to address that now as far as the 15 attendance days and things like that? I know you guys have worked on that a lot, you said.
Yeah, so I had my dean of students look at it and looked at the attendance for our kids in NMA activities before Christmas and so far after Christmas. And we had no one meet the 15 before Christmas, and currently no one's meeting it after Christmas. Now combined, if you go before and after, but that doesn't, that's not violating the child's code when it comes to attendance and NMA policy, in our board policy. So we're in compliance.
Well, I mean, thank you, Mr. Bishop, for bringing it up, and hopefully we never have to bring it up again. And I know it was a lot of work, so thank you guys for getting that done.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
That's good news.
Okay, other items on the 4711 to 7261.
You know what, I didn't really find anything myself, but my question is, I don't deal with the discipline stuff. When our administrators have to deal with discipline and you find things in this policy maybe that don't work, can you take that up with Mrs. Quinones? Because you deal with it, I don't.
Yes, ma'am, and we routinely look at it, and if there's something that feels like it's not working, I speak with Dr. Parker and Ms. Q, and we come together and have a meeting about it, and then ultimately present it to you guys if we feel like there needs to be a policy change.
We need to make a change.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a few questions.
You may cover mine.
Do what?
I said you may cover mine.
On page 9, I believe it is, it's J4890, talking about removal of students from school-sponsored activities. Down here, it's towards the bottom, where it talks about, yeah, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th paragraph. I believe where it talks about the principal shall give written notice to the student.
Is it if after the conference? Is it that one? Is it that
No,
paragraph?
it starts with before.
Before, okay.
Yeah, the 5th one. I think it's before removing a student from activity for a reason other than student violation of discipline principles. So I guess what would be the reasoning for removing a student from an activity if they're not following, if they are following the discipline policies and regulations? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what does that cover?
You're right.
Yeah.
But to me, the only reason to remove somebody is if they're not doing something correctly or doing something wrong, right? Breaking the rules, or I mean, I think of like the kids at a football game or something getting kicked out of that activity. So that would be violating the district's policies. So that wouldn't require the written documentation. Is that correct?
Right.
And it goes back to that first paragraph.
So in the past, we have had to remove a student from a football game actually because of violence. And so we had law enforcement remove that student, and then we followed up with a letter to the parents of why they were removed and how long they were going to be removed. Yeah, so it falls under different reasons. Any violation to school policy, if you're on school property, you follow school policy.
So am I hearing you say that it may or may not fall specifically under a discipline policy, but other policy? Is that? It's real wordy here. I see. Yeah.
I was having trouble
So it's to cover.
trying to figure out when you have to have a written notice and when you don't. I guess is what my confusion was.
So would it be okay if I just took
I don't
this
know
back
that-
and looked at it and then,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm fine with that. I just think there's
4890,
yes.
okay.
And it may be, like many of them, it's in statute written that way.
Right.
And so I think maybe
Yeah,
just
I
some
know that
clarification.
I will. Yes, ma'am.
And it may be I didn't read.
I didn't read that
on it,
statute
but,
either.
So that answers that one. On page 21, I had another question.
Policy number.
Well, the policy is way up. I didn't write the policy number down, sorry. 4981,
Oh, I had that one too. Okay.
that's right.
Bingo.
4981?
4981. Okay.
And it's page 21, under B. So this is where it's talking about things being sold at the middle schools, like beverages being sold, no carbonated beverages. And I was just curious, I know we went to Laces a few years ago.
4981.
Is it?
21 and 22. Talks about all the calories and all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, B.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
I remember we went to Laces, and I was just trying to clarify, they have the little coffee shop right there in Sixth Grade Academy? Is that offered to the students at all, or is that offered just to the teachers and?
To the teachers.
Okay.
It's to staff.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
And the high school also has it as well
okay,
through their ACES program.
yeah, okay. I didn't realize the high school had that, but,
Yes.
I loved it.
do what?
I loved it.
Oh, I'm sure. No, I think it's a great thing. I just saw this and wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't, because we're not supposed to be selling that stuff to students, I guess, so.
That's correct.
Okay. And then page 27, I think this is under the same, it's talking about the School Health Advisory Council. That was just the first I'd heard of that. I assume all that's in place.
We do have that. Yes, we do. And actually, Mr. Mapes leads that.
Okay.
So, yes.
What a perfect person to lead that.
Does Mr. Mapes know he leads that? Is this the first you're hearing of this?
Mr. Daly Cruz led it, and he very happily bounced past that.
Now, at one time, there was required to have a board member on there. Is that not required anymore? I mean, I don't think the board members.
There it is.
It is.
And that's what I was gonna ask.
Because I know that at one point I
Is
was.
Dale Dunlap the board member on there? I nominate Dale to be a board member on there.
Feel free to reach out to Mr.
I'm
Dunlap.
just saying,
Yeah, it was at one time.
Yeah, and it's still,
required.
it's still required in this policy to have all these people. And so I just know that that's a lot of people to have on a advisory panel and.
We do have representation throughout the district, and so am I hearing you say you want to be on the committee?
I do not want, I mean, I will if it's needed, but I'm just,
It does require that there be a school board member, so I will not put any board member on the spot, but I'll say, give it some thought and let Ms. Q know if you're interested before we call and tell you that you were voluntold, so. I do remember serving on that before, so I didn't know if that was no longer a thing. So.
that's all I had.
Okay, thank you.
I just had a couple of things. It's still in 4981, but it's way up at the top, and it's really, it's more of, under the elementary physical activity. It does talk about students will participate in an annual school-wide field day with parental involvement. Is that something that, I guess, I had thought it was on a campus-by-campus decision, and what I'm reading here is students will participate, and this is at all elementary schools. So I just want to make sure that we are following that. That is under item 1.
I found it.
Okay.
Do they still do track and field days?
That, not consistently. They have, some campuses have, but I don't know that that's happened consistently at all. And there may be some flexibility on what that looks like, you know.
Right, you have your PTO that's involved in this, and so they help supply the treats and stuff like that for that.
Right. I think just making sure that that field day does happen at the campuses.
It's interesting that it says school-wide.
School-wide, yeah, it's part of the physical activity requirement,
Yeah.
so. That was really the first time I'd noticed that, to be honest.
I like number 6 on that.
Running laps and push-ups.
Should not be used as punishment.
That's at elementary. High school, that's at elementary.
When was this in
Ms.
effect?
Cartwright does not make those kindergartners do that, you know, so. Okay, and then the only other thing that I really did wonder about on 6950, it talks about student fees, fines, and charges, and there's a reference made for books and materials, and including textbooks under fines. Bill will be responsible and accountable for loss or damage to school property, including textbooks and library books. Is it necessary to put something about technical devices, or is that covered in the student handbook, or do we need it in both places? I just wonder, is that something that actually needs to be put in as far as the with technology? I don't know. Mr. Rutledge, your thoughts on, I know that that's something that comes up every now and then.
We have it on their checkout form, they do sign that they're responsible for payment of what they do.
I'm wondering, to support that, does the board policy, even though it is implied, maybe we need to be a little more specific?
Yeah, maybe a little more cheaper, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it does say, I mean, they'll be accountable for loss of or damage to school property, including textbooks and library books. So I think if you just said including, whatever, I mean, I think technically you'll be covered here.
Right.
Because it's school property, right?
Right.
But
I don't know. I was really just kind of questioning, do you feel that it's necessary, or do you feel that this covers it? And
Do you think it's necessary?
Yeah, I mean, it may be good to be explicit about it. We've had parents sign the document and they come back and say, we've never seen anything that says that we're responsible for it. So
Okay.
I think maybe it would be good to be explicit about it.
And then it just really supports that even here. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so we have one thing you were gonna check on, and then a couple of adjustments. Do we want to make a motion to approve pending that, or do you want to hold it till next month?
I'm fine with
I'm
making a
still
motion
trying to
pending.
find 6950.
Okay,
Just a second, please.
you're okay. Yeah, whatever the board thinks. No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So
question?
I would just, do we want to go ahead and make a motion to approve it and with the understanding of these noted changes? Or do you feel like it needs to be until next month? What do you feel more comfortable with?
I can take care of it and just bring those three policies back to the board to add to the agenda to show that they've been changed.
We just included in, just the notation, I don't know that it would require, okay. All right, sounds good to me. So do I hear a motion to approve the second reading of sections 47, 11, 72, 61 of policy J with the noted changes?
So moved.
Great.
What's up?
Go back up over there. Yep. Yep. No, touch where it says agenda. Where it says agenda. There you go. It disappears on you. Okay, we're gonna move right into new business. First item, consider approval for out-of-state travel for Skills USA and the LHS band.
Okay. So we have out-of-state travel for Skills USA, and we have some students that have qualified to travel to Atlanta, Georgia. So it's not their first rodeo, right? So Mr. Hagler is here to answer any questions that the board may have.
Okay.
Thankfully, we had several state championships come home from Albuquerque this year. We brought home 6 state titles. Some of those were middle school, some of those were chapter-wide. So total, we have 2 teams that are going to travel to Atlanta, Georgia, and represent not only the Wildcat Nation, but the entire state of New Mexico. We're very excited about it. One team is the American Spirit Team, which is a 3-part community service competition that focuses on veterans, the CTE community, and the community at large. So we're really excited for them. And then we had yet another state championship with Mr. Dela Cruz and the Robotics Urban Search and Rescue. So we're just really excited to be able to represent well in Albuquerque and hopefully go represent well in Atlanta, Georgia. So I stand for any questions you may have.
And how many students are you taking?
To nationals this year,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to take 5 students,
Okay.
3 adults.
Okay, I think I misunderstood at the beginning and I was looking for additional students. Okay, so the ones that you have listed here, the 5, okay.
They will be at the board meeting in May.
Do what?
We'll be recognizing that
Okay.
team in May.
Okay, questions from the board?
How many students?
5.
5 students. And then like last year, so the 8 on the registration will be the 5 students and the 3 adults because you have to pay for everybody going. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And like last year on the itinerary, you'll see myself and our young man by the name of Rolando Gallegos will be flying out early. Rolando Gallegos was our 2nd state officer. Abigail Schaus retired her state office, and we had another one elected. So thankfully, again, we get to fly down there a little bit early, and he gets to represent, again, not only Wildcat Nation, but the state of New Mexico as a Skills USA New Mexico state officer. So really excited for that young man to start his journey.
And what a great opportunity for our kids. Oh, yeah. Any questions from the board? Do I hear a motion to approve? Well, we're going to do both of them together, so, okay.
Absolutely.
So then we'll do the band also. So, thank you, Mr. Hagler.
Thank you.
Okay, and the band.
Okay, exciting opportunity for out-of-state travel for our Big Blue Band and Mr.
I really thought you'd march up here, Miss Rose.
Sorry,
Come on.
And this trip is to Washington, D.C. To participate in a parade. So, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, we were lucky to receive the nomination to be, we're one of a few nominees to represent New Mexico in the National Memorial Day Parade in Washington, D.C. But I believe I think the only one that's really trying to make it happen. There was a very, very short list of groups because they want every state represented. So
Sure.
Anyway, we were really grateful to receive that nomination. And so this is the beginnings of the plan for that. Any
I
questions?
just got to say I appreciate the pre-planning here. I think that's worth noting, you know.
Well,
You're well in advance, so, yeah.
Quinones said, this is 2027.
Right.
I think it's a good thing, though.
But she explained because of the fundraising.
Yes, trying to get ahead of it, yes,
Right.
as much as we can.
Right. That's exciting.
Yes.
All right, any questions from the board?
What if other kids?
Well, like more kids want to join? So how the pricing works is per coach once we get there. So each coach seats 54 people. So that's why we're thinking around 100. We can do 50 students per coach, 4 adults per coach. But if we do get more students interested, then we'd have to try to really buck up the numbers to get that next coach as full as we can. So then that kind of trickles to the full cost of everyone. And as you can see, we've been given 2 options, a 3-night or a 4-night option. They both have really great travel and sites and things around the DC area. We're still a little bit undecided, but the price difference for the second night overall is really not that significant. So I really think, or for having the additional night, so I think having the longer trip would be ideal for the
So
students.
hard to get there. Sure.
Yeah, and the kids, a once in a lifetime opportunity, I really think.
Much to see. And probably, it sounds like 100 is a very realistic number to work with.
I mean, in the Big Blue Band in the last years, we've marched competitively about 120. And so I think that's probably going to be around 100 who's going to be able to follow through with the commitment of it. So.
Love it.
I'm very proud of y'all too, that stood out enough to be invited to do this.
Yes, thank you.
Is there any, what if a parent wants to go? How does that work? I mean, I know they obviously have to pay, but what about for like the tours and different things?
A lot of the tours are where we would have like a group rate to do the tour. But when we first arrive, the first day there, it's a full walking tour. So I think that's not, you're not like necessarily needing to be on a bus or anything. But I have a tentative meeting already scheduled with the planner. He knows that I'm having this meeting tonight. And if it then becomes approved, then I will ask him every single question. But I do know already that parents are going to want to attend.
That's
so
what I'm getting at. I think
yeah,
parents that want to go.
I won't say no to more help with all those kids on the other side of the country. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Great. Great. Any other questions from the board?
When I first looked at this and I saw the charter bus, I thought y'all were driving all the way to Washington DC, and I was like, oh, good Lord.
No. And you said there will not be volunteers for that.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh no.
Oh,
it's a fly, and that's the one of the things that we're going to have to work out is the equipment.
Sure.
You can't have a marching band without sousaphones and bass drums, and and they can be flown. That is something that does happen. They also can be driven. There's also an option to rent from local music stores in around the area. So those are other things that will happen as we have the approval, and then we'll actually start making the real black and white plans like that. So
I think you and your team are going to have a lot of planning.
A lot of fun, right? No, it'll be
great
it'll be
opportunity
great.
for
I'm
our
so
kids,
excited.
and it's a huge thing for you guys to even look at, and I mean that's great for our kids. So. Okay, thank you. And the superintendent's recommendation on these travels.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are here a motion to approve both out-of-state travels that were presented tonight?
So move.
Second.
Okay. Sounds like Mr. Bishop's ready to haul some sousaphones. So
I'll drive. Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of fun. Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of neat.
I love it for our kids. Love it for our kids. Okay, next item, accept nominations for the NMSBA 2026 Scholarship Program nominee. And everybody voted ahead of time. Did we end up with a winner? Okay, all right, so Peyton Weezer is our district's nominee, and we will send that in the morning to NMSBA, and they will, for our region, there are 3, isn't that right, Ms. Hanson? The region picks 3, so we will sure hope that Peyton is one that is selected this year. So we'll reach out to her and let her know, and congratulations, and we'll hope that she wins that scholarship. Do I hear a motion to approve Peyton Weezer as the nominee for the NMSBA scholarship? Okay.
A second.
All right, thank you. Next item, consider approval of recommendation for graduating seniors from Lovington High School and New Hope High School.
Feels like we just did this.
Okay.
So you should have the list in front of you. Yes. Any questions?
Mr. Williams, you ready?
Let's go.
You did such a great job last year, so how hard can it be, right?
We'll talk afterwards.
I think the community really does enjoy having it at the stadium, and I know it's a tremendous amount of work for you and your team, and for our whole group of custodians and Jesse's team, and so.
And all principals are involved.
Everybody, yeah, boots on the ground, so.
And we will have more gates open this year?
That's the plan. We've talked about this. Yes, we have talked about the security. That's where we're trying to get it, and we've got bottleneck there. So yes, that is going to be addressed, hopefully. And then hopefully parents will show up at an earlier time instead of right before graduation too. That helps out as well.
And it will begin at 7, is that correct?
Okay. And gates will open up at 5, so they have plenty of time to get in.
2 hours to get in and get situated. Great, great.
Wonderful.
All right.
Will we have previous entertainment for them ahead of time for that 2 hours?
Previous entertainment, like concert? No, ma'am. No.
Are you volunteering, Miss Ansel? Okay, okay. All we ask is you tell us what time you want us to show up, and we will be there.
7 o'clock, and we'll be ready
Oh,
to
no,
go.
we know you get nervous if we're not there before then, so. All right,
We do have the Big Blue Band. It's going to be performing our pomp and circumstance again. They did such a tremendous job last year, and we're just so thankful for Miss Rice and what they do with the band for all of our events, and just always them and choir always ready to step up and help us at any time, even end of the year celebrations, beginning of the year celebrations, graduation, anytime. The opening of Albertsons, just saying, hey, can you come do this? And they're always like, yes. And so we are tremendously just so blessed with our musical department there. They do a great job, and so they get to do the pomp and circumstance again this year, so we're excited about that.
And it is going to be live streamed, correct?
Yes, ma'am. We've already got Mr. Gomez, and
Love that.
it's going to be ready to rock and roll.
Love that. So for some that it's navigating the stadium is a little challenging, they can watch it live stream. So, okay. I'm sure it's going to go off without a hitch. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Do I hear a motion to approve those seniors that are presented tonight?
So moved.
Okay, and a prayer for their parents that it all comes to fruition. So,
You, Ms. Rice, you do know that when I die, I want the thoughts off that at my funeral. Okay.
okay. We had a motion and a second? Okay. Thank you. All right, next item, consider approval for a memorandum of agreement with the Lee County for the ARC Strategic Safety.
Yes, ma'am. As always, our county commissioners are very generous, and they are doing this for all Lee County schools, providing some funding for safety mapping initiative, and it's also a huge platform for our maintenance department facility director. And so we just had to present this to the board so that you guys were aware that we were going into an agreement with the county.
Any questions from the board?
No, ma'am.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. Next item, consider approval of disposal of assets.
So you will see a nice little list there.
That's always fun.
Mr. Rutledge and his team and Mr. Van Hoosier and his team have been working hard to get things cleaned up and taken care of. So, and along with the business department, because they have to go through that department as well.
I do have a question. On that first palette one, there are lots of Lenovo whatevers, but none of them are highlighted on palette 2, 3 from there on out. There's some of them highlighted in yellow. Are we only getting rid of the highlighted ones? Or?
No, ma'am, if they're on that list, they're being disposed of.
Okay.
Any other questions? Nobody wanted to go. You gave him the invitation to go look through it, so I wondered if anybody wanted to go look through, so.
It still stands for the next 30 days.
Okay, all right. All right, do I hear a motion to approve the disposal of assets as presented?
So move.
Okay. All right, thank you. That takes care of the new business. Moving into public comment time. Is there anybody here tonight to speak for public comment? Okay, everybody looked behind them, so. Okay, hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All right, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here.